Hello and welcome back to Minstrels on the Block with special guest Dale Boswell. My Soldier Prayer has caused a stir with people, a very positive stir. In fact, Dale gets emails from people, and I'd like to read a couple of these emails. I have seen and heard your My Soldier Prayer. I actually found it almost 2 years ago and thought it was such an amazing song that I sent it to a friend of mine whose son was killed in Iraq about 5 years ago. This song and video is so amazing that I had to find out more about the guy that sings it, and that's how I found you on Facebook. I also shared it today with a support group of Army moms, and I think they are all in tears. Thank you for doing this song, and I urge you to do another, as I feel that song is better than any George, Allen, Toby, Lee Greenwood, or anyone else could have done. And I love all those country music stars, but no song has ever touched my heart the way My Soldier Prayer has. I will be sure to thank my son for you, Lisa. And another. I'm an Army Special Forces wife, been a military bride for 7 years. There's only one other song that has ever touched my heart like this one, The Ballad of Green Beret. I thank you for such a beautiful tribute, Linda Head. And another. Thank you from a Gold Star mother. This is a wonderful tribute. God bless you, Nathan Allen Jackson. These are just a couple of the emails that he's received. So, tell us about the song, Dave.
Yeah, you're right. And actually, I get these from all over the world. And the reason I had Brian read them is because I'd probably end up squalling because they really touch me. And they're so emotional. And just the fact that this song, I'm so honored, that this song has touched people like that. And it was just basically a surprise to me. Because it's probably one of the simplest songs I've ever written. Mm-hmm. And a little history on the song is we were playing a venue in Montgomery and was playing it pretty regular. So one night we was setting up and a couple there that comes out to see us, they asked, I was walking by, they asked me, said, do you do any patriotic songs? I said, well, not really. I said, but I'm working on one. Mm-hmm. And I had just the chorus of My Soldier's Prayer, and I sang it to them just a cappella right there at the table. And they really loved it, and I thought, well, this is cool, So anyway, we did our show, and we'd come back, probably once a month, and every time they would be there, and they would ask me, have I finished that song yet? I mean, several times.
Yeah.
So it got to one point we were scheduled to go back there, and I told my wife, Robin, I said, baby, I said, you got to help me. We got to finish this song because them people are worrying me to death about it, and let's just finish. And, so I have something to sing to them. So we sat down and wrote the rest of it. My wife helped me. And so that weekend we got to the show. My band hadn't never even heard it. So we went to break, and I got up with a guitar, and I said, I want to do this song I just wrote. So I did it with just me and a guitar, and it was amazing. It seemed like everything that was happening in the club just stopped.
Wow!
Everybody stopped and turned towards the stage. All the vets stood up and saluted, and the others were, you see tears in their eyes, and I thought, well, this is amazing, and so. We went on, then we recorded the song in 2007, I think. And it's gotten a lot of attention worldwide since. And there's not a concert that we do this song. And I say this because it's such an honor, but I receive a standing ovation every time I do this song. And most of the time I can't get through it without crying, even though I wrote it. Mm-hmm. And it's because I look out in the audience and I see so many people with tears in their eyes, and even the biggest, burliest motorcycle riders, I'll be squalling. Wow. And then I'll come off stage, and then I'm surrounded by people just telling me their stories of their relatives and their friends and their families, just tear-stained stories, and thanking me for the song. And it's such an honor, it's just, and like I say, this has been going on since 2007, and I can't say, how humbled I am by this. And it's available on, all my music's available on iTunes, or Napster, or Amazon, and Rhapsody, I think. So you can go to any of my websites, and we'll show you that at the end of the show, I guess, that you can pick it up. But my most honored moment talking about this song is in 2008. I was invited to Nashville to do this song on the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree.
Nice.
And my friend Razzie Bailey, which is a country music legend, he was hosting the show, and they asked him who he wanted as his guest star, and he said, "Well, I know this guy in Phoenix City that's got this great song that people need to hear." So he invited me there, and what's so great, this is the second longest running radio show in history, right next to the Grand Ole Opry WSM, and everybody's been on the Midnite Jamboree from Elvis to Charlie Pride, and it's not a venue that you send a tape to and say, "Can I come on there?" It's by invitation only.
Right.
And so I was so honored that they invited me to do this song and be on the show, and then to get a standing ovation there was just, I was in tears. The show still broadcast worldwide, and several of my Grand Ole Opry friends showed up there to support me. Jack Green and Jan Howard, and of course Razzie and Johnny Counterfeit and Ronnie Stoneman, and it was just an awesome time. But it's but there's nothing that touches me more than the emails do.
And that's the greatest feeling, the greatest achievement for a songwriter. Because you play venues and people, listen, people love it. But for somebody to, that these people have listened to what you've said in this song. That is the greatest achievement for a songwriter, is to know that people have connected to your stuff.
It is. It's great. And, I've gotten messages from people like Jimmy Fortune, which, if you're familiar with Jimmy, he's one of the greatest songwriters in the world, and he was the tenor singer for the Statler Brothers.
Wow.
And like I say, he's an awesome songwriter in his own right. And he sent me an email, and to quote him, it said, "This song is exactly what America needs to hear."
Nice.
And that was very nice. And actually, this song is a personal favorite of George Jones.
Man.
I was told him and his wife said they listen to this song just about every day, which is awesome. Just when you think of the thousands of people got George Jones CDs in their cars, and to know he's got one of mine, and that's kind of cool.
You're listening to George Jones, he's listening to mine.
That's awesome. And George is a great guy.
That's anyway, a tremendous feeling.
The video you just shown, if I can speak on it a little bit, it was we did, being a graphics designer, I did the video myself on the computer at home, and the footage at the start of the video, that was actually taken at the Nashville Palace in Nashville. Is where we played with another Razzie Bailey show at one time, and it was a salute to the soldiers, or something related to the soldiers, and it was also where Razzie wanted me to come up just to do that song. But first part of it was filmed there, and the second part of the song, which is in black and white, was filmed at the Fort Mitchell Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
And not too far from my house. And my wife, she filmed that and helped me produce it. But it's and of course it's got some slideshow pictures in it and stuff. And I thought of maybe doing a new one, but this one has gone so far. Some things you just don't touch.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you playing that.
It's our pleasure, my pleasure, and the stations. The wonderful, wonderful stuff, wonderful artwork. As far as musical artwork. Tell me about your current music. Anything current.
Current, I've got some songs some new stuff, and I do a lot of novelty. I like to write novelty songs. It's kind of strange. I go from one extreme to the next. You know, one I got you crying, and one hopefully I got you laughing. But I'm working on some new stuff. I'm going to go. I'm going to get into the studio before too long and record. We're not performing as much as we used to, and you know, like I say, we've been together 25 years. And you know, and the economy, you know, has really had a lot to do with it. You know, there's so many venues just are closed or can't afford bands now. But up until this year, we were doing about 115 dates a year.
Wow!
Which is, you know, every weekend plus.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's slowed down now. We do, you know, maybe a couple a month. And you can go, like I say, also to my websites, and we keep our tour schedule there. And you can contact me there, or even on Facebook, and kind of keep up with what we're doing. And you know, we appreciate all our friends and family that have supported us through the years, and you know, we can't thank you enough for that.
Yeah. After this, we'll be right back. But now we're going to go to one more of Dale's songs.
You know, one time I was asked, as a songwriter, what inspires you? Well, it don't really take much. For instance, I guess I've seen about everything that this world has to show, but I ain't never seen a live armadillo sitting on the side of the road. Never seen a live armadillo sitting on the side of the road. They've always got their feet sticking straight up in a dead little armadillo pose. Could be playing possum, I'm just saying, I don't know. But I ain't never seen a live armadillo sitting on the side of the road. I lived in Alabama damn near all my life. It's not uncommon to see a live possum anytime, day or night. Well, armadillos come from Texas, at least that's what I'm told. So who in the hell's chunking dead armadillos on the side of her Alabama roads? One time I saw Elvis shopping at a discount store. Bigfoot lives in my backyard and Batman lives next door. Well, seeing is believing, and I believe in UFOs. But I ain't never seen a live armadillo sitting on the side of the road. I ain't never seen a live armadillo sitting on the side of the road. They've always got their feet just sticking straight up in a dead little armadillo pose. Could be playing possum, I'm just saying, I don't know. But I ain't never seen a live armadillo sitting on the side of the road. No, I ain't never seen a live armadillo just sitting on the side of the road.